you create incentive, you help the people to grow, and there is a flow from that whatever achievement they are put in place. There is a value added to the economy by government indirectly, supporting some growing businesses. But this is supposed to go beyond the few that they have taken. And in a country like Nigeria that is that vast, it should be a spread. What is done in good economy is that you just pick growing business with the potentials, good potentials backed by human capacity, that kind of thing, and then gradually grow them by creating incentive and give them tax holidays and get them to get to a point. What? Why would government do all this? It's because essentially the economy cannot be good if the real sector is not concentrated upon. There must be a lot put into the real sector so that at the end of it, the the entire economy will benefit from it.
Trickle down effect.
Yeah. But and I also know that in the meantime, those in the service industry tends to benefit. They tend to benefit, and the service industry cannot contribute to the GDP of this country because it does, but minimally, not at the rate that you think of the real sector. That is partly part of it. I'm just drawing
Yes.
mind back to what had led us to where we are now. Things have been going really bad, and there was real need. We needed a government that understands the problem of the economy, and that can put the economy at the right, position, to position the economy well for growth. And I think the PDP government, I would say, worsened the situation. It worsened it really because that was a time that we had patronage which were not directed at where patronage should go. But patronage was going to people who were more or less frittering away the whatever benefits that came their way. So they was not plying back these resources to aid production in other sectors. People who were embarking on conspicuous consumption, so that whatever comes to them is money not end. You can see recently how billions of naira was flowing around and so on. And you can imagine if this amount of money was well invested towards productivity in this country, we wouldn't be where we are. The thing is that the economy had gone bad, and we only thank God that we had a change of government. If there was no change of government, I think it could have been worse, because the PDP approach to government, the policies are good, the policies were good, but implementation, and those at the helm of affairs, they didn't have the courage to implement and to do things the right way and to touch those that were, faulting or maybe working negatively in the interest of the economy. That is what that government was lacking. And you see, we're talking, we're all crying now, we're all shouting and so on. The truth is that there's no way we could have run from where we find ourselves now. First, globally, the economy had been down. Things are not working well the way it used to work all over the world. But recently, as you know, sometime last year, the oil prices went down.
Yeah.
The oil prices went down. Not only the fact that the oil prices went down, the production also went down. And so a combination of this, the result is that it attracts less earning, less foreign exchange earning to the country. And when we have less foreign exchange, it simply means that the naira, our needs our needs, the generality of our needs would be competing for the scarce foreign nations that we have and so on. And that also will help to depress on the value of Naira. And that is why we are here. Whether government liked it or not, we wouldn't have run away from a kind of devaluation that way. Even though officially government says no devaluation and so on.
That's the language.
Of course. Well, it is because it could be worse. It could be worse. I am of the opinion that if there was no change of government, anything maybe another 6 months we would have moved into a depression, which is the worst stage of
economic.
Yeah. The fact that we are recession is not in doubt. We are. Whether it is being polished, it is called technical.
I want to ask you, because for the layman, people like me who don't understand serious economic terms, what's the difference between a recession and a technical recession? What is the difference?
Well, that is a way of trying to confuse persons.
Okay.
In other words, it has not gone to real recession and so on. And recession that is caused by circumstances, that kind of thing. But we are in a recession.
Okay, so let me quickly ask you here, because you mentioned the word depression. Now, if it gets worse, we could get to a depression. What would we likely see? What's the difference between a recession and a depression?
Depression is when you get to a depression, you can afford to sell your son to have a living. Because it gets really very bad.
Something like
really very bad. Things will not be there. The life we're having life now, those things are good. Under depression, everything, the foods are scarce, everything is scarce and so on. Schools will close down. A lot of entertainment places will not be there again. So everyone will be looking for a way of survival. So we pray and we know we cannot get there.
Okay. Sir, because that was a big marker, but let's move forward. Now we are here, sir. You said it, and it's not like we don't have economists and people like you who actually have forward thinking and know these things, but somehow the government has just been stuck in its ways and has not moved forward with economic times. So now we are in this situation. It's a bit of a quagmire. How do we move on from here as a society, as a nation?
Nothing can go completely bad.
Okay.
There's always a way forward.
Okay.
But for me, if I had opportunity, I think the best option is for the government to really go back, because with this country, we've had in place a lot of policies, a lot of very sound policies which can still be useful if implemented. Don't forget that we are making so much noise about agric now, but agric policy had been there since the time of Okpara and so on. The Nigerian, those who were in power at that time, had realized the importance of agriculture, which we are now making it look as if it's something new. It's not. It's a matter of getting back to the various development plans that we have put in place and then reviewing them, and because some of them might be obsolete, some can be forward-looking and so on. And then we can bring all this in place and then kind of restructuring everything. And let me tell you, before we do that, I am one of those who very much believe that for us to go forward and go effectively, this country should be restructured. How do you restructure it? In line with the outcome of the last conference, we call it conference, national conference.
National conference.
It is a stepping stone. We should start from there. As soon as we start from there, then this issue of reviewing some of the plans that we had, that kind of thing have come together. And of course, those who implement these policies, the new policies going forward, it should be it should be a combination of very few of the former technocrats and the young ones, because what the young ones know now, most of those who have been propounding policies and trying to implement right now, they don't know. They know it in analog manner, but now everything is digital. Digital, and you must allow those who are coming up, who are in tune with development all over the world. to drive the economy of this country. I think by so doing we'll be moving forward. With
Okay, so let me just ask you a question, something that worries me. Why is it that Nigerians are afraid to invest? You see, a lot of people do businesses with government, make colossal amount of money. Apart from maybe you hear people like Dangote, maybe Otedola, Lumelo. People, Nigerians, let's take Cross River for example. You're just one of a few people who have put solid investment on the ground, causing employment, and then, causing real, tangible contribution to the economic sector. Why do Nigerians run away from investment?
Thank you, Boris. I think there are many reasons for this. One is lack of confidence in the economy, and that is a very important thing. And the other, before this lack of confidence, lies in the fact that your source of revenue, source of income matters. There are some people, of recent, money was flowing basically to politicians and so on. And a typical politician wouldn't want you to know how much money he has gathered for himself. You can imagine in our state here we have politicians who have made billions, but they cannot put that money around here. Unfortunately, this money is being stacked abroad and so on, and maybe in Abuja and so on. So none of them can actually contribute to enhancing the development of this local economy. So there is that fear that people would ask, there is need. When you are growing, you should grow organically. That's sort of thing. People say you are step 1, then step 2, step 3, but not when from one year you move from poverty level to a conglomerate and so on, that sort of thing. So I know that from us, some people invest, but they choose to invest in Abuja because most of them feel that either fear, one is fear, but the other one is that they don't have confidence in the economy. Because I do remember that when I left the central bank and was coming, I left the central bank here. When I left my employment down here, and I had cause to move back to Lagos, because I had a very lucrative job and so on. People were, along the line, I said, no, let me just try the economy here. I had a lot of discouragement. And so if you have such fickle-minded people under that situation, they will just move out and put something somewhere. But I personally, I'm one of those that believe that the principles of development and expansion is the same everywhere. All you need is the right environment and so on. Support. If you don't have support, you can't grow. You cannot grow. The support can come from government. The support can come from your own people. The catchment, the segmented market. If you don't have it, then whatever you're doing is not all right, because there's always these forces of supply and demand.
Okay, so we're going to take a break now.
And before we do that, I'd like to ask everybody, just try to go onto social media and drop your comments. I'll be taking a lot more comments from social media during the break. He'll look at the comments and try to answer the questions. When we get back, we'll just be taking a few phone calls. Twitter handle is @HitFMCalabar. And Facebook, go on to www.facebook.com/HitFMCalabar and drop your comments. Now, we're going to play a song for you, to Papa and M.I. Abaga, Babylon. I know many of you like it, but keep it locked for the song first of the commercials.
Hi, this